Like when we go through our various types of remembrances or awakenings, and our soul connects with others wherever we find ourselves. Some of us, our soul group might be in the place that we're born, or if we travel we might bump into, meet people that we've had souls that we've had a deep connection with in a past life. And for me, I very much believe in synchronicity. I very much believe in the unseen realms and the messages that I get from Spirit and Gaia, and from the ancestors of other people that I've met, because I've been around people and been in love with people, and I've had their people talk to me. And I don't need any validation from anyone on that of what that means, or, you know, a lot of the stuff I don't necessarily share. It's just it influences my actions and just observations. I just, you know, tend to not rush into things anymore and observe slowly, because whether we consider a Kundalini rising, these crows are going at it today, whether it's Kundalini rising, a shamanic call, other forms of spiritual calling, dark night of the soul, there's so many different terminologies, but whatever it is to break us out of our programming, our mind, mindset, our mental prison, where we start to, or, you know, ceremony, psychedelics, mushrooms, various things that we might have worked with over time and worked with others, because that is the mission of the world right now, is the expansion of consciousness. So when we break free from believing in just a physical 3D reality, where our soul leads, our soul talks, and she connects us to, I mean, it's beyond masculine and feminine at this point, because I know my soul is ancient and I've been men and women, and so okay, I'm going to park that there, because I've got a few activations coming through. As I said this, I did spend a lot of time, I'm on a fast at the minute, and I did spend some time in the water today, so there's things and energies that are flowing in at the minute. So as these experiences awaken our consciousness, and we start to be a little bit more open-minded as to what might happen, what might unfold around us from our day-to-day, obviously rooting ourselves in the physical 3D if we are able to. Sometimes, you know, therefore, what's that saying? Why is that coming through? Therefore, for the grace of God go I. Like, sometimes some of us can handle what comes through, others cannot, and they go into psychosis and they get sectioned, and we have to pray, we have to just trust that we will find ourselves with loving people around us and supportive community environments, because when people aren't open to this expanded consciousness, then people can get pushed away and called, you know, weirdo, that mental breakdown, all of that, when it's not, because people, once if they're enveloped and embraced in a loving environment while all this stuff happens, you can move through it, you can come through that and ground in the 3D again. But if we're, you know, 12 planes of existence, if we believe that, if we are, you know, talking about 4D, 5D, 3Ds, like being left behind, if we're getting messages from other and higher realms, then of course it's very difficult to ground in the 3D reality. So as we come back down, as we integrate, as we embody, as we take time out, as we rest, as we slow down, as we change our diet, as we listen to different languages, the mental, sensory stuff all around us, we start to feel differently. The interactions with people, energy, we are very discerning, because the level of awareness, you start to see people's agendas, you watch actions and you observe things before making any decisions about whether you allow someone into your circle, into your heart space. I mean, heart space is open all the time, we send love, but it has and can be abused, so we really need to be mindful of that. So as I, because I can only talk from my lived experiences, have met many deep soul connections, and just because someone's a soul group or past life experience is not always positive, we've talked about, can be very, very dark and very, very heavy. and we have potentially created contacts with people in the past that are meant to be broken, have been broken in this lifetime. Even if we have felt the deepest love and like we've just never experienced anything like it, like the magnitude of emotion that gets sparked between people when it's not of this realm and when they are also open to it. I mean, not always. People are not always open to it, so it's heavier and harder when one feels it solo. But sorry, there was a message in that one. But ultimately, time reveals all. So in terms of allowing, like I've allowed those connections and experiences. Oh God, I'm transmuting anything that's being sent to me right now with love. I don't need anyone's evil eye. Like it's all good. People have got healed now. It's just whatever. Leave me alone. So we connect with past life. Like I'm open to past life connections for my highest good and for the highest good of the collective. And I've broken all contracts that don't resonate, like don't align with the higher frequency of purity and of divine love. But also there's this other message coming through about like, because we've had past life connections with people, like if that does not translate healthily into the everyday of now where we're at, i.e. like for me, I can only talk from my experience again, like I'm trying to be a conscious embodied woman. I'm not preaching, I'm not being on a righteous path to anybody else. I'm doing different, I'm moving differently from ways that I previously have, because if you want different, you have to move differently. And what works for me, my body, celibacy, various things like that, if other people want to do different things, that's absolutely fine, because their body, their vessel, their mind will possibly not be affected in the ways that mine have, and they're not empathic and they don't take on energies in the ways that I do, and I have to be very mindful of that, because there are some powerful souls out there, some with loving intention and some with not. So if you feel that people are trying to pull on your energy, if we feel like people are trying to pull on our energy because they want the light, then obviously they're coming from a lack mindset. It's not an abundant mindset. Like in the minute, we're not given what we want, we're given what we need. And so with these past life deep connections, however mystical and magical they are, if they don't translate into the reality that we live in, which, yeah, I do believe 3D is being left, like we're into 4D now, but there's a physical plane, a physical realness in terms of tangible living, that it has to be a vibrational match. Like if someone's on a holistic path of like knowing that I love myself, so I'm really mindful of what I do to my body, mind and soul, because I deserve and desire to be on this on Gaia for as long as she allows me to be. And so if that doesn't match up with the people that we are connecting with, then we obviously need to look at the shadow moments. And obviously I get this, for me, I can't talk for anybody else, for me there's this level of healer shamanic work that I do when two energies, like I've felt in the past, I think I might have explained it on a video before, when two powerful souls collide, like there is this like combustion energy, and I can get pulled. I think I explained it about when I was nomading and being in different places. Like it would be a case of like two people, me coming into a place or a new energy. Sometimes this is how I do soul work when I work in people's houses, spaces, supporting the release and cleansing of various things, is like our two energies collide, because I believe in everything is living. So like me and the living space connect and collide, and the spirit's there. And also me and another person collecting, colliding. Now, if that person is moving through things that are imbalanced, like chaotic and not stabilised, not heart-centred, part of the gift, which people say, I don't like the word curse, but a gift, and I've now sort of learning to call it as 949 on the clock. a gift and a challenge, is that I can get pulled into people's energy so that I can see something, and whether I'm able to help transmute or assist is a language, is a contract, is a language, is something that is non-verbal, and I can consciously hear that, like clairaudient wise, and I can see certain things, but we still have to recognise it's not our responsibility to heal other people. A lot of us now are being activators or activated because collective consciousness is expanding, and so a lot of us are getting called to look at our ways and how to do better and be better. I'm not a purist, and these messages might seem repetitive and boring, but this is the program. We continually, every day, need to come back to a place where we remind ourselves that we are this, that we are great, that, any energies that we've been around over the days or the week, if they've got to the point of overwhelm, can infiltrate into gaps. We're not perfect, we're not solid, everything is ever mowing, and I'm in a feminine energy, and sometimes, yes, I do get presented with very sort of hard energies that still to this day take me off guard, but I'm now much quicker at transmuting, much quicker at observing, much quicker at noticing how I need to move differently from that situation, whether it's a temporary connection, whether it's long term, is the work, that's what I'm learning. That's the self-study. And so if these past life connections, if these karmic, it's not negative, karmic is a lesson, so if these karmic contracts have been put in front of us in the physical realm to show us something, then it's important that we listen. It's important that we look at ourselves and we see, like, is this in alignment? Did we meet in a shadow space, nightclub, where there's spirits, where there's dark, where there's some energies, that can pull us back into toxic ways, toxic habits? Is it heart-led? What's the intention? Like, there's always a vibrational match to our intentions because of what we see unfold around us, 1 2 3 1 around us, and I think there's a couple of repeated points there, but this is where I'm just saying, like, in terms of all the spiritual knowledge and the feelings and the emotions that we can connect with on this spiritual path and wanting to lean into things and see things as divinely guided. Yes, but are they for our highest good? And, like, if things don't translate into a physical sense, like, I'm not here to be a mama to anybody. I'm not here to heal anybody. We've done that in past relationships. Like, if people don't match and can't see their own wounding and it's easy for women to take on things in their womb. And so after deprogramming a lot from where people just take, it has to be matched. Someone has to come to an embodied divine feminine. A divine masculine has to come from a place of balance. And this is not perfect, but, how are we elevating to our highest self, highest good? Like, I'm not here budgeting, but also, like, when I budget, I'm conscious of what I'm buying and how I'm living. I'd rather buy a small blender for 20 quid than take a week-long trip elsewhere and do, because the day-to-day for me is important. There's nothing else outside this moment right now. I don't need to knock up, the bucket list of where I've been and all. I'm here, I'm living, which means we move in the ways that we need to. Sometimes it's rest, sometimes it's work, sometimes it's travel. But every day to day is, how do we nourish I? How do we nourish the temple, the body temple? I'm not here escaping anything. If we don't... Okay, I've been told to. So there's a video coming out, which obviously this will be before this one, about fasting, because I'm on this fast. I didn't expect a channel, but this is what happens, is when you allow your vessel to be lighter, and this is not a very strict fast, I'll share what I do, but it's about being light, and so we can hear the messages about our density. And it's not just from fasting from food. This is fasting from anything toxic. This is fasting from social interactions. This is fasting from tech. That's why I didn't expect to do the video, because I've actually had my phone off for nearly 2 days now, because I don't want to interact in certain ways. Too much tech. Like, I'm of a generation, we didn't grow up texting and calling all the time, and I just can't do it anymore. It's just not me. I don't want to be in other people's energy all day every day. I love my own. There's times for space for sharing, and there's times for community and socializing. There's times to sit with our thoughts and not keep needing to reach out to people all the time. It's just, for me, that's coming from a place of lack, not abundance, and I don't do lack. Like, we have everything that we need in any one moment. Like, it's lovely to share company and time, and we maintain the relationships that are truthful and reciprocal. And it's hard when you're on different time zones with people, but the people that want to maintain relationships, we all, it happens because it's intention. But I put some questions down, and it's like, can we exist in any one moment without filling it with something else, like anything external, anything potentially toxic or addictive? People, places, things. Can we love ourselves better to let go and level up this time, like breaking the cycle, breaking the loop? Because we will stumble and fall. Like, we've been given a list of patterns to observe. Sometimes that's with tobacco, sometimes that's with marijuana, sometimes that's with people are doing ayahuasca. We've got these contracts with certain substances or people or places or emotions like anger, and we will keep needing to revisit these until we fix them healthily. And I don't know when the fixing is, because it's such a spiral path, and I've knocked off and pulled back, but like the swerve and the pivot is much quicker this time. Like, the responsibility, the self, like the accountability, and I want to be around people who are also accountable, right, so that we can all elevate. If everybody's continually in the pool of indulgence and doing whatever we want all day, every day, I don't know how we level up from that space. I certainly didn't work for me, and that's why I've removed myself from certain places. And I'm currently in the environment that I am because it's a place where I feel elevated. And the last question, can we restore ourselves to the most divine blueprint that we are born with? Abundance. Can we just be in this physical vessel that we were given, this body? Like, we didn't need anything when we were born other than love, shelter, care, food. Modestly, simply. Like, all of the other stuff is born out of pain and hurt that we've not healed. And everybody's version of naughty is going to look different. If genuinely people don't eat peanuts because it's inflammatory, and then you have peanut butter, like, everybody's got their own version of what clean living, clean eating. But always in the light is also not balanced, because we're from the darkness. Like, we have to balance these two, and that's why just flowing and being intuitive and not so rigid about things. And people say women can't be consistent because we are the divine feminine, we're the water flow. But I do believe consistency is a principle to live by. I.e., like, the intention is to upkeep and maintain ourselves. Gosh, this is really long and it's a bit rabbity, and someone will find a thread. 1838. And so the main point is, if things don't translate into the physical environment, we can't kid ourselves of a spirit. Like, we're spirit beings. Nothing's essentially spiritual. If we have this deep, intimate past life spiritual connection with someone, but it's not translating into our physical reality and a healthy embodiment, like, we've got to let it go. We can cherish whatever it was for us at that moment in time, and there's no other words around it. We learn to deal with our emotions and the pain from that. I'm not saying I don't break down and cry sometimes about the people that I've let go because of the emotions shared, but we get over it. It's a cycle. Then we move on. We have a couple of weeks, couple of months on the good foot. Then we have something that reminds, so many people, we have all experienced loss in whatever way that is, whether it was a healthy relationship, toxic relationship, past life relationship, karmic, whatever. So I want everybody that is just showing up for ourselves. And showing up means that we come from a place of love. We love ourselves. There's no other way to do this. If we don't love ourselves, we're not going to do things to help ourselves. 2002 mirrored moments.